Yo, Birch. They'll never know that we are the real war scientists. We do the war research. You are not don't till the whole of them.
Our knight Seraph had come to save us. But what has he done? He has led us through years, consecutive years of negative growth. And I heard some figures yesterday, which I dispute. I still stay with 4 years of negative growth. And I'm worried about 2012. For the first time, many of our citizens are wondering what has hit them. He's the first Prime Minister to ride over $1 billion debt. The first Prime Minister to have our country's credit rating reduced. The first Prime Minister float a bond issue which was undersubscribed. Undersubscribed. Just yesterday, the PM claimed the bond issue was oversubscribed. The sole undersubscribed position resulted from a St. Vincent auction held on the 4th of January 2012. The issue closed short by EC dollars 388,000. This is what was described yesterday as being oversubscribed. An indication of confidence in our financial situation here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But the fact remains it was undersubscribed.
And a regional airline of this kind, this is not anything which is going to make money. This is a service which has to be provided. And we see if we can break even with this service. But you cannot make money of it. So you can't use the same investment criteria which you would use for a hotel. All I am saying to you, in that regard, give me your question. I am telling you, you cannot have a proper appreciation of regional air transport by framing the issue the way framed.
That you do not put money into a business that is not doing well? When you're looking for new investors, you...
Well, that's the same point. We are going around in circles because you consider air transport.
Isn't it a business?
You consider air transport like any other business.
Isn't it a business?
Haven't you understood the point which I'm making?
Isn't it a business?
Have you not understood the point I'm making?
Isn't it a business?
Right. It's a simple thing if you don't understand it.
Isn't it a business?
I just explained to you that it is not a business like other businesses. To ask in a purer sense, it's not a business. Of course it's a business, but it is a business of a different type. That's the point I'm making.
So it's not a business designed to make a profit?
I just tell you, the regional airline, like Liat, which is going about here, don't look for it to make any profit. I tell you, if it break even, you're doing okay.
To respond to my friend Bonds. Respond to my friend Bonds. Respond to my friend Bonds there, you know, where he's saying that I think he said some person in the leadership of the party or persons in the leadership of the party always oppose the airport. I have repeatedly said on my program that I have never heard anybody in the leadership of the NDP saying that they do not want to have an airport or international airport. And Mr. Yusuf just said the same thing there.
Okay.
You see, what Burns is mistaken by is the number of calls on, say, the NDP program or other programs and those calls indicate that they do not want airport. You understand me? And therefore, because they said so, they always get the impression that those persons are speaking for and on behalf of the NDP. That is not so. And up to Monday, Mr. Lucas repeated that, and every Monday on my program, I hammer home that. I ask him the question, you know, and those persons in the leadership of the party who always appear on my program, They have never said that. And this is what I always tell visitors. When people call the program and give views, those views are not necessarily the views of the party, NDP. The views of the party has to be propagated by those in the leadership position. And
Amajaro, Cocoa Company. Amajaro, Cocoa Company. Amajaro. Well, who is Amajaro? Cocoa Company. It can mention the name. Amajaro, A-M-A-J-A-R-O. This is a major commodities company. They will supply the cocoa to the farmer. The fermentation bins. They will also guarantee the sale price to the farmers. This company has a history of doing this for other countries, but they will only work for the NDP. Well, who is Amajaro? What is Amajaro? Let's forget for the moment that cocoa is no salvation. 50 farmers, 100 farmers can plant cocoa like how you can plant papa, like how you can plant coconut waternut. A little bit of thing here, a little bit of thing there. But Amajaro, what is Amajaro? Remember, you know, this is a company which is so clean that it will only work with the NDP. Ralph is too dirty for Amajaro. Let's find out about Amajaro. A-M-A-J-A-R-O. You can go on the website and find Amajaro, you know. Amajaro is one of 3 companies that were banned by the Ghana Cocoa Board from operating on the western border of Ghana after being indicted criminally for facilitating the smuggling of cocoa across Ghana's border with the Ivory Coast. A company which was interdicted criminally for smuggling cocoa. You hear me? Go on the website and you'll find that the fellow in charge of Amajaro gave the Conservative Party in England a whole set of money for the campaign, and the Minister of International Development put the squeeze on Ghana so that they wouldn't ban them anymore. That's the company.
And I made the point, this is an industry which can bring us more money than bananas brought us in the hill. And I made the point because I want more rooms. And I made the point because I want more. And I made the point because I want more rooms. And I made the point. This is an industry which can bring us more money than bananas brought us in the hill. Because I want more rooms for the number of students, because remember this, is 700 for the medical students, 200 for them, and the numbers are increasing. This is an industry which can bring us more money than bananas brought us in the hill. It wouldn't have the wide base as banana in the hill they had. In terms of the dollars, the knock-on effect and so on and so forth. And I made the point, and if you're listening to the tape which I was talking about, and the whole context in which I was talking, is that I said that what is coming with the 200 with the Ecuadorians would be as much as what we are earning now from bananas.
That is not so. 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 To respond to my friend Bob. That is not so. That is not so. That is not so. That is not so.